In this video, we are going to learn a star delta starter auto manual connection with push button and sensor. First see working. If you select selector switch on 2 number position, then your starter will start stop with push button. When you press start push button, you can see main contactor and star contactor is pick up. Okay, when timing is complete, so after completing time, star contactor is stop and delta contactor is pick up. Okay, and for stopping, if you press stop push button, so your starter will stop. Okay, and if you select the selector switch on 1 number position, then starter will start stop with sensor. Now starter will not start with push button. Okay, when start sensor operate, so you can see main contactor and star contactor is pick up, also timer is start. After completing time, star contactor will stop and delta contactor is. I hope you clear the concept of auto manual connection. Okay, and for stopping of the starter, when stop sensor is operate, so starter will stop. So in this video, we will learn this connection wire by wire and also learn with drawing, so that your all doubts will clear. So let's start video. And first see setup and which component is required for this wiring. So first we connect 3 contactor. You can see is setup for this starter, 3 contactor, main contactor. This one is delta contactor and third one is star contactor. Okay, and we connect one overload relay with main contactor. Okay, and for start stop of starter, we connect one star delta timer. You can see it's a star delta timer. We will learn connection and working of this timer practically in this video. And also for auto and manual connection, we connect one auto manual selector switch. This one is auto manual selector switch for start and stop with sensor and start and stop with push button. We will learn a complete connection of this selector switch. This one is stop push button and start push button. For manually start stop starter. Okay, and also we connect it to sensor for stop and start sensor. Okay, and for sensor connection, we connect these connectors. Okay, for better understanding of connections, we connect this connector for stop and start sensor. Okay, now first see sensors specification. We connect this one is stop sensor, and stop sensor is AC and C type sensor. A and C type sensor. That means when this sensor operates, so starter will stop. Okay, it's for stopping of starter, and operating voltage is 20 to 250 volt AC. Okay, it's a 2 wire sensor. Okay, for stopping we use NC type sensor, just like stop push button. Okay, and for starting we connect AC and O type sensor. NO type sensor, that means for starting of the starter. Okay, you can see its operating voltage is the same, 20 to 250 volt AC. Okay, and it's a 2 wire sensor in which we have red and blue wire. Red or brown wire for input power supply when sensor operate, because it's a NO type sensor, so supply comes in blue wire. Okay, and it's auto manual selector switch. In this selector switch, 1 number terminal, you can see 1 number terminal, and also its terminal because it's loop, so it's common terminal. Okay, when selector switch on 1 number position, supply comes on A1 terminal. Okay, in start, and if selector switch on 2 number position, supply comes on A2 terminal. Okay, now you can see it's a timer, star delta timer, in which A1 and A2 for coil voltage, in which we need to give line and neutral. 15 number point is common. Okay, 16 number terminal for delta contactor supply, because it's a star delta timer, so 16 number terminal for delta contactor supply, and 18 number terminal for a star contactor supply. You can see 16 for delta and 18 for star contactor supply. Okay, now let's start wiring with drawing. Okay, so you can see just we need to give neutral power supply in main contactor, timer, star contactor and delta contactor. So first we connect neutral, after that we will learn complete connection wire by wire. Okay, so first we take one connector from MCB for neutral power supply. Okay, connect neutral, and first connect in main contactor coil A1 terminal, also loop in timer A1 terminal, also in delta contactor A1 terminal. Okay, and also loop in star contactor A1 terminal. That means we connect a neutral directly in third 3 contactor and timer. Okay. Now let's see line control wiring. First we connect line in overload relay NC terminal so that we will get overload protection. Overload relay output connect in stop push button NC push button. Okay. NC push button output connects in NC sensor because we just connected in series both sensor and push button in series. Okay, so that starter will stop with NC push button and sensor also, and sensor output connects in auto manual selector switch common terminal. Okay, so first we do this wiring, after that we will learn how it works. Okay, so first we take one connector from MCB line and connect this connector to overload relay 95 number point. Okay, in normal condition supply pass, if overload our motor, so it will cut off. Okay, so in normal condition supply comes in 96 number terminal, connect to the stop push button NC push button, output of this push button connect to the NC sensor. Okay, so first we take one connector and it's a NC sensor. In sensor normally red wire is input power supply. Okay, so first we connect one connector for red wire for input power supply and blue wire for output power supply. For better understanding of connection, we just connect this connector, and it's for start sensor, NO sensor, it's a NO sensor, red wire and blue wire. Okay, so first two connector for stop sensor, NC sensor, and second two connector for NO sensor. Okay, now NC push button output, we connect one connector. Okay, and connect this connector to stop sensor, NC sensor input terminal in which red wire. Okay, in normal condition supply pass with this blue wire. If sensor operates, so it will cut off. Okay, in normal condition supply pass, and connect this connector to selector switch common, which is one number terminal, and also we loop this connector, so you can connect this connector here. So NC sensor output connect in this common terminal. Okay, if selector switch on 2 number position, so your starter will start stop with push button. Okay, for 2 number position if you select, so starter will start stop manually. So just connect one connector from A2 terminal for manual mode. Okay, so it's A2 terminal. Okay, and output of this A2 terminal first connect in start push button NO element, and when you press start push button, so man contactor will operate first. Okay, neutral connects directly. First do this wiring for manual start stop of starter. So first we connect one connector from A2 terminal. Okay, just connect properly. Friends, I hope you clear the concept of how we are doing wiring and how it works. If you have any query, please ask in comments box, and please watch video with pause. After pause you will clear all the concept. Okay, so just we connect one connector here in start push button. When you press the start push button, so output of this NO element connects in contactor coil A2. In A1 we connect neutral directly. When you press this push button in manual mode, so contactor will start. Okay, first to see how it works. When you press start push button, so contactor is operating manually. Okay, I hope you clear the concept. Now for sensor connection, NO sensor connection. So for NO sensor connection, just we do connect sensor parallelly this push button. So in A1 terminal, with A1 terminal, selector switch A1 terminal for auto mode, connect to the sensor red wire in which we connect to input power supply, and when sensor operates, so supply pass here and connect to the contactor coil. We just connect sensor parallelly with this push button. Okay, so just take one connector from A1 of this selector switch. So just connect one connector for auto mode, connect one connector in A1 terminal, and connect to the start sensor NO sensor input terminal, which is red wire. So we connect one connector here. When sensor operate, so supply comes here in blue wire. Okay, and connect to the contactor coil. Okay, just like start push button connection, because also start push button output connect in contactor coil. So we are connecting this connector to start push button output terminal. Okay, so first we connect one connector in start push button output terminal. Because with start push button output terminal we connect already this connector to contactor coil, so same connection. If you select selector switch in 1 number position, now contactor will not operate with push button, contactor will operate only sensor is operate, start sensor is operate. You can see when start sensor is operate, so contactor is operating manually. Okay, and for holding connection, how to do proper holding? Okay, so first understand in drawing, after that we will do holding connection. So where we need to take holding wire. So for holding wire you can take from selector switch common, okay, from NC output terminal, okay, from NC output terminal, and connect one connector from common and connect to the contactor ANO terminal and contactor coils to ANO terminal. Okay, just we do simple holding connection. Okay, so for holding connection we take one connector from selector switch common, which is 1 number terminal. So we take one connector from 1 number point, which is common because continuous supply comes here, and connect this connector to contactor ANO terminal. Okay, just we do normal holding supply. Okay, okay, when you can see, and we connect one connector from contactor coil to ANO terminal. Okay, because holding supply comes continuously here. When you press start push button or sensor, so contactor operate, and from contactor operate, so supply comes here, and holding supply connects here and operate contactor. Okay, I hope you clear the concept. For holding connection we connect one connector from coil A2 and ANO terminal. Okay, holding connection is done. Now let's see how it works. Okay, first power MCB on, selector switch on 2 number position. Now starter will start with push button and stop with push button. You can see. Now we select the selector switch in 1 number position. Starter will start with sensor and stop with sensor. Also you can start with sensor and stop with push button. Okay, I hope you clear the concept. You can stop with stop push button or sensor. Okay, now for modification for start delta starter, with main contactor we operate timer. When main contactor operates, so also timer will operate. Okay, so for timer operate, we connect one connector from contactor A2 terminal to timer A2 terminal. When contactor operates, so timer also operate. First see, when you can see, when sensor or push button operate, so when main contactor operates, so also timer is also operate. Okay, after that timer operates, so with timer NC terminal, because if you set 10 second in timer, so for 10 second supply comes in NC of the timer. Okay, and output of ANC connect in delta contactor ANC and connect to the star contactor. When delta contactor is in stop condition, then a star contactor will operate for interlocking purpose. Okay, so first we take one connector from A2 of timer and connect common, which is 15 number point for common input power supply. Okay, so for A2 to 15 number common, if you set 5 seconds in this timer, okay, so because its timer is a star delta model timer. Okay, so for 5 seconds supply comes in star contactor. Okay, so for 5 seconds supply comes in star contactor, and after 5 seconds it will operate delta contactor. So for 5 seconds supply comes here because it's a star terminal, and after completing time delta time indicator is on, so supply comes in upper side 16 number terminal. Okay, so for a star contactor, first we take one connector from star terminal of star delta timer. Okay, if you set 5 seconds, so for 5 seconds supply comes here and connect to the delta contactor NC terminal. If delta contactor is in stop condition, then supply will pass. If delta contactor operates, so supply will cut off. Okay, if delta contactor is in stop condition, so supply comes here and connect to the star contactor A2 terminal. Okay, star contactor only when timer supply come, and also delta contactor is in a stop condition for interlocking purpose. If you start a starter and set 5 seconds, so for 5 seconds supply comes here and operate a star contactor, and after 5 seconds this supply will cut off and gives to delta contactor and operate delta contactor. Okay, so when timer timing is complete, okay, so for interlocking purpose, if timer timing is complete, so supply comes here for operating delta contactor, but for interlocking purpose we use star contactor NC terminal. Okay, if a star contactor is in stop condition then this supply will pass. If the star contactor is a start condition, then supply will not pass. Okay. So output of this NC of star contactor and connect to the delta contactor coil. Okay, delta contactor operate only when timer supply comes and star contactor is in a stop condition. Okay, I hope you clear the concept, how to do proper connection. Let's see how it works. Okay, so first we'll start MCB and select the selector switch on 1 number position. That means the starter will start to stop with sensor. When sensor operates, so you can see main contactor and star contactor operate. After completing timer time, star contactor will stop and delta contactor is pick up. Also main contactor is running. And for stopping, just when stop sensor operates, so starter will stop. And if you select the selector switch on 2 number position, so main will start to stop. When you press this start push button, so main contactor and delta contactor is pick up. Okay. And when timer timing is complete, so delta will stop and main contactor will operate. I hope you clear the concept. If you have any query, please ask in comments box and watch video with pause. After that you will clear all the concept. If you like this video, please press like button. If you have any query, please ask in comments box. For today's enough. We'll meet in next video. Thanks for watching.